And thank you for everybody who brought pillows to donate to the Bedouin tent for our pajama pillow fight tonight. We're going to start by talking about registration and give everybody an update as to where we are on the numbers. So, of course, come on over and join us.
Hey, as of tonight, we do have a sticker, apparently.
That's not cool. Nothing on the sticker.
But we also have the numbers. We have 172 campers registered tonight, which is a little bit less than we expected. We have about 200 or room for 200 and hoping for 200. That's what our budget is planned on. So if you are on the list and planning to come and think you're really coming and you haven't registered yet, please do, because we really need to have that happen right now. But we're getting close. We do have pretty much all the RV and super tent spots taken up. Again, if you haven't done so and you need to bring your RV and you haven't registered and you really need that, talk to your pod leaders and our Power Rangers, Pisky, primarily. We may or may not be able to fit that in right now, so we're pretty much full, but don't just come with an RV if you're not registered. Talk to us, please. And again, if you haven't registered yet, please do, and that's it, 172.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Daniel to talk about our map, our layout.
Carol Merrill.
Okay, this is it this year. Come look at it. As you all know, we've got a little more space this year because they're putting
You have to put your voice out more.
the porta potties right kind of next to us. Call it the blue bank, the sauna, whatever you want to call it. One thing I didn't make clear on the last version of the layout is I put the whole blue bank right here, and that, as a lot of you know, that's not the whole thing. Is not porta potties. This blue strip right here represents the porta potties. They're near the street, and then there's a buffer of about 40 feet between the front door of the porta potties and the start of our village. There's also a 50-foot buffer, 30 feet, and then our internal road, so that's 50 feet right here. So porta potties are not exactly right up against the village, just to be clear.
That's important.
Yeah.
You can't just pee from your tent. You gotta actually walk 40 feet.
Well, I mean,
How about peeing from the top of the art club?
Okay, let's continue.
so then, we got about 440 feet this way, and the people camping down here, it's listed, I wrote it down as 400 feet, and what happens on Playa actually is that it, because the whole event is laid out like a clock, this whole thing is actually a pie wedge of about 6 degrees opening out this way, and so down at the bottom edge ends up being about 447 feet. And Risty and Powerho, they figure that out when they do the flagging when they get there. So up here, it's going to be 400 feet. Down here, it's going to spread out a bit. And that's going to just be distributed throughout the pods, the extra space. So it's a good thing. Can't go wrong with that. I added some color this time. Kathy Cat said they didn't need enough color, but I don't have glitter pens, so I couldn't make it as great as I could have been. So, any questions or...
Well, this is here. It will be here all night, so if you have questions, you can come up and look at it. One other thing is that this lists all of our pods. Some of the pods still have room and still have space. Raise your hand if you're new to the village and are looking for a place to camp within the village still. I know there are a few people out there. Okay, then they're being very shy because I know I've talked to a few people tonight. So, yes, welcome to our new people. Yay! This will give you an idea of where the pods are that we have been talking about, you and I. And then as you're talking to pod leaders, it also gives you an idea of that. So please come take a look if you are trying to figure out where you're still going to camp.
One more thing, this little pod in the middle, it's not Jenny pod, that's this generator. That's the 30-foot radius clearance for it, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, come look at it throughout the night.
Moody has 3 fingers.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more thing about the layout is, so this is the current layout. It's very unlikely to change, but once we get on Playa and the flaggers talk to the placer, it's possible that they might switch us to the other side of 6 o'clock or something like that, and or even our space that we get might change. So it's not set in stone until we're actually there on Playa. So things can change.
So don't hold us to it.
Yeah, don't hold us to it. Yeah, we're all volunteering anyways.
All right, fantastic.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. Moving over to Luke and Chuck. Oh, Milkmaid. That's you.
Hi there. I'm Terry, Milkmaid. Things I'd like to talk to you guys about. Truck load. We have the camp truck that needs to be loaded up before we leave. It needs to be unloaded on Playa. Then it needs to be loaded up before we leave, and then it needs to be unloaded back here in the default world. I've asked
4 times.
So yeah, there's 4 times altogether that there's opportunities to help with the truck loading and unloading. If you are going to be on Playa before event opens, and you'll be there on Saturday morning at 9, and you'd be available to help, the more hands we have, the quicker we'll be done with it. We could be done within 15 minutes if we have, a few people helping us out. And then the load before we leave the default here is on Thursday night. Yes? No.
Sunday.
Sunday morning. We switched it to Sunday morning. Excuse me. Sunday morning at Meneas
Yes.
at 10 or 10:30. Did you decide on 10?
10.
10.
10.
What date?
Which Sunday?
Sunday the
Away from
17th.
tomorrow.
17th. Sunday the 17th.
Yeah, so
We can truck load.
10 a.m.
A
my
week
house.
from tomorrow.
Yes.
A week from
Come
tomorrow.
load the truck.
What about the storage area? You don't have a storage area anymore?
That is.
It's at my
It's
house.
at her house right now.
So you're not on
Don't argue.
No.
This is where we're at. It'll be at
I'll get you the address ready.
at Marinea's house. Yeah, if you could volunteer, let your pod leaders know, and they'll add you to the spreadsheet, or you can just let me know, and I'll write you down in my little book right here. On Playa, when it's time to leave, will be Monday at noon. We're going to load up the truck, and then back in the default world, that unload is on Thursday night. That's the one that's on Thursday. See, I knew something was on Thursday. And that's at 7 o'clock here. Is that going to be at your place too?
No.
Is that we have a new
Storage.
rental storage place location that's found?
Most likely in Santa Clara.
Most likely in Santa Clara. Okay. Again, if you're available to volunteer for any of the 4 positions, let me know. I'll write in the book, or let your pod leader know. They'll add you to the spreadsheet. MOOP stuff. I have MOOP people from every pod to help. Glow Girl sent out a great email to her pod mates. Yeah, is anybody other MOOP mavens in the house? Raise your hand. Besides Glow Girl.
Misters.
Or more misters.
I was told that maven could be male or female.
All you moopster,
So if you're a moopster, raise your hand. Any other moopsters in the house? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Come see me also. I want to get your face just to go with your names. Anyways, very, 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 very important. Before you go on Playa, read the web page that talks about the MOOP stuff. Make sure that your costumes have unmoopy items. Make sure and clean your cars really well. Make sure that your rugs and all of your stuff have edges or secure. If there's MOOP, then we have a chance of not having the event. So it's everybody's job to clean up and prevent MOOP from happening. Smooth out and remove MOOP from any dust things you see. Bring recyclable stuff. There's all kind of tips. Read all about it. Oh yeah, MOOP. I keep forgetting that some people don't know. I'm sorry. MOOP stands for matter out of place. It also stands for picking up matter out of place. And on the Playa, the only thing that belongs there is the Playa dust. the dirt and the hard packed dust that you see. That's the only thing that belongs there. Everything else is moved. So don't let water puddle there. Don't go to the bathroom on it. Don't drop your cigarette butts on it. Everybody bring little tins. And yes.
I just wanted to add something for anybody that's got a trailer or an RV that's been sitting. Make sure that you clean it off first. People have a trailer or a camper or something that's been sitting since, last September. And they forget that it's underneath a pine tree. And a lot of it gets left on Highway 80, but a lot of it still blows off in the massive windstorms. And then we're out there picking up frickin' pine needles so that we don't get dinged. So
Yes.
your tents, your tarps, your things that have been
Shake it
sitting
out.
around, shake them out, blow them
Blow
off,
it
take your
out.
little weed blower and clean that crap off before you...
And try and remember, they're allowing feathers now, but I still think, unless you're don't bring those frickin' boas, whatever you do. But if you have really secure feather that's glued someplace and
Turkey feathers.
I don't know the proper words for which ones are okay.
There's a post on it. They can look
There
it
is a
up on
post.
the
You had a
Bowman
really good
website.
link
Don't
in
bring
your email.
feathers.
I'm going to add that to the website. That was good. Thank you for that.
Bring fur. No chicken.
What about all my glitter?
Glitter is bad. Do not bring glitter
Would
to
you like to
the
eat
playa.
Bad boy.
I have some silicone spray that I'm putting over some of my glitter stuff, or you can put some Mod Podge over it, something to secure it, but you can still have the fun shininess. It's better to have stuff that's sewn on rather than glued on. You can have that kind of stuff at parties like here, but not for on the playa. Then what else did I want to talk to you guys about? Events. Anybody who's having an event that's not on the website, please let me know so I can get it on the list of events for the website. And Steve, is there a Steve Houlihan maybe here somewhere?
That's me.
Yes, I need to talk with you before I leave about signage. I need to talk to you about signage for the events.
Okay.
Zip
line.
I know, but I want to talk to you about something about signage as well.
Okay. They're good.
Anyway, I think that's all. Oh yes, the oil leaks and drip pans. If you have a vehicle that you're bringing to the playa, please bring something to put under your vehicle so that if you have an oil leak, surprise, like I did last year, I didn't even know I had an oil leak. I put Visqueen under my stuff. I put it under my car, under my yurt. I just had my whole area was like Visqueen down. And so when I was done, I could roll it up, and I mostly had all of my moop in my own little pile. So that worked really awesome. And I did have an oil leak that I wasn't aware of.
Or you can bring a big piece of cardboard, put your two front tires over
Yes,
it, and burn
exactly.
it on Monday.
Perfect. That works as well. Anything you put underneath there, you want to have. And maybe something heavy to hold down the middle so the wind doesn't catch underneath it and rip it or something, I used garden stakes for my stuff. The staple thingies, yeah. That's what I used.
Thank you.
Yes,
So
sir.
you plastic your whole area?
I did, yeah.
So I guess you are the Visqueen?
It was this that could be a new name.
Awesome. Thank you so much to Milkmaid. Milkmaid also runs our website, so thank you so much for keeping us up to date on our website as well. I'm going to turn it over to Twisty, our head Power Ranger.
Hello, everybody. Hey, I'm gonna pull this back out. So he was on
This I got it.
Significant point.
the generator. We're gonna have one again this year.
Yay!
We considered not having one, but then at the last minute. So the generator is here in the middle. You don't have to plug into the generator. We will be spreading spider boxes around in each of the pods. The number of spider boxes will be determined by the amount of RVs, super tents, and campers that you have. So there'll be enough plugs for everybody. When you arrive on Playa, don't just go plugging yourself in. Find your Power Ranger. Each pod has a Power Ranger. Can I see a show of hands of who's a Power Ranger here?
I found one.
Good job.
Go Power Rangers!
The other question
Thank you to our Power Ranger.
who doesn't know who their Power Ranger is?
Yeah, that's a good
I
question.
have it posted on the website. If you go to the pod page, not only will you see a map of this, but you'll also see a list of your pod Power Rangers and Moot Mavens.
Right. So, what if you're out in one of the corners out here or somewhere out here? You need power, right?
Yeah, you fuck.
So we're gonna we'll have spider boxes about 100 feet from the generator and as far as 200 feet from the generator. But if you're more than 200 feet, you need an extension cord. Make sure you have a 100-foot extension cord or two 50-foot extension cords.
Not 1010s.
Yeah, that's you're gonna trip over that.
And the gate.
The gauge of your extension cord should be 10 gauge. And that 10 gauge is a bigger cord, it's more expensive, it's perfect for RVs. If you don't have an RV, you've got a super tent, or maybe you're just camping, you can get away with a 12 gauge. They cost a little bit less and a little easier to find, but I would encourage you to get a 10 gauge cable. It'll work for you for lots of things. If you already have a cable and you've been bringing it to the Playa for a couple years, do some cable maintenance. Clean the outside of it. Check the ends. Do they look tarnished? Are they, green or black or dirty? If they are, clean them up.
Test the cable. Make sure
Test the
it
cable. Plug it in. Make sure it's actually working, that all the sockets on the other end work. If you're an RV owner, you should have an adapter for the spider box so that you can go from the twist lock to your extension cord. We have adapters, but there's a limited number, so it is best to have your own so
What
that
kind
you're
of adapter?
a twist lock to standard adapter.
A twisty lock adapter.
On the Power page on the website, we have lists of information and photographs.
I
Yeah,
think it's an L520.
L520 is the appropriate receptacle. But you'll see on the website, the SiliconVillageBurners.org, there's a whole section on power. We talk about extension cords, we talk about what you need, and if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me on Facebook or on email. Let's see, what else do I have to say about generator power? Yes.
Oh yeah.
So our vendor, which actually changed on us, talk about them more if you want, but they're going to bring our generator over to us on Tuesday or Wednesday. This does not mean that we're going to have power Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you're on Playa early,
I hope.
we're gonna turn the power on. If it arrives early, we might turn the power on Friday afternoon, but expect power Saturday afternoon. If there's any other complications, Monday afternoon for those of you that have early arrival. But there will be power for everybody Monday for certain. We will then be turning the power off the following Monday in the morning. Correct?
Tuesday.
Tuesday? Monday.
No, not Tuesday.
Yeah. What time? What time?
Breakfast of Champions.
Tuesday.
Truck started on Monday, so we don't have any power
It just sits
then.
there for a day.
10 a.m. Monday, Labor Day, we will turn off the power and back up the generator. For each of your pods, the last person in the pod or the last person connected to a spider box, work with your Power Ranger to bring the spider box back to the generator and the cable that's connected to it. Don't just take the spider box and leave the cable.
Cable is the heavy part.
Right.
Just don't break our backs.
Yeah. So we need everybody's help to be able to bring that in. But that is largely everything we need for power. Again, if you have any questions, any special needs for your power, or you have any questions about your RV, come talk to me or any of the other Power Rangers. Oh yes. If there's a problem in your pod, you're out of power, you need help with something, talk to your pod Power Ranger first. They can help you. If they're not able to help you, they can escalate the problem to another Power Ranger. And then we have senior Power Rangers, myself included. And if the problem is larger than that, we'll get our generator vendor involved. So, We have an escalation for questions.
No, not a question. I just was going to mention the box.
Well, we'll talk about that later. That's a leadership thing.
It could be everybody.
Okay. Well, then I'll mention it. To show our appreciation to our generator vendor, we're putting together a small collection, a Playa gift basket, if you will. Fun things that you would like to give to somebody on the Playa. Headlamp, socks, toothpaste, the things you really need out on Playa when you're there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Snorkel pony repellent.
So if you have anything to donate to that, let us know.
I have one. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from our stage manager, Bagel Father.
Hello, everybody. Hello. So I am again your stage manager because I'm under union contract for the next 20 years. So, but seriously, who here? This is your first burn. You are full of shit.
Liar.
Okay, or first time with, I think clearly, first time burn or first time with Silicon Village. Raise your hands. Okay, so we have a stage. We have acts. There are acts on stage that we will be performing, that people are performing. If you would like to perform on stage, we will have open mic times. We will have, if you want to schedule something on stage, we can schedule something on stage for you. I will be posting it into the list, and it'll have a link to the Google Doc, and then you'll be able to see the scheduling. If you want to work with me, if you want to use the microphone, if you want to do something, it's all good. That's all fine. So I encourage participation. I have no hard to find assistant stage manager. I need some people to help setting up in the morning, and it's like securing stuff in the evening where we shut things down. It doesn't take a lot of work. If you want a job that takes like 5 minutes, that's the job for you. And you can say, look, I did something. Get off my back, Cool Daniel. Then, did he mean?
Hey, don't worry. I'm not bringing my clipboard this year. I'm not going to mark anybody off.
Oh, in case it's not clear, I'm with Otis Bankmore. But seriously though, we do have we have several really good acts. We have ads in BMIR radio station, so listen for those. If you have any questions about stage, we have shade for the audience that will be built, etc. We're doing the act can be at any time. We're generally doing them Monday through Friday. If you want to do a Saturday or Sunday, I'm not actually set up. I'm not scheduling anything for that. Doesn't mean you can't do it. I'm just not planning anything. If you want to do something on a Saturday or Sunday, that is perfectly fine. If you want to do it at night, let me know, because we don't have lights on the stage, and we'll help work something out.
Is there a schedule for the stage acts?
Yes, it's on a Google Doc, and I will post it again to the group page and figure out where we can put it on a website. Put a link to that.
You can link to
I was going to say, if you don't want them on your back, just roll over next time. It's much easier.
I don't like... Yeah, but then, I can't spoon with you.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have. Questions, find me.
One of the ways that we're using the stage this year is that we are having a memorial on Thursday. And so at 5 o'clock in the stage area, we are meeting for our memorial. And then at 6 o'clock, we are having an art car procession. It's I'm going to say it right after. Yes. So 5 o'clock memorial, 6 o'clock procession, art car procession. And at 4:30 before the memorial at the tower, we are doing a village photo. So if you would like to be in the village group photo, show up at the tower at 4:30. After we're done with that, then we will walk over to the stage and we will start the memorial. I'm going to open it up to anyone else who has announcements for interactivity like zipline, bar, anybody else for their pods that would like to talk about interactivity.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Although many of you probably know about many of the things that happen at our village, there's probably things that each camp does that I have no idea what they are. Like, I don't know what
They're on the website.
Art does.
He doesn't know what Otis does.
I know what Otis does. I was going to say, why don't you take 2 seconds in every camp, like Otis does spankings and cookies.
That's true, they do.
What does each camp do? Just take 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
Pod leaders.
Pod leader.
Home for Wayward Geeks. We do power.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm part of the Wandering, or I'm the pod leader for the Wandering Mena. This is our first year as a pod, and we are offering interactive divination, and we will also have an interactive gypsy bardo that people can write on.
Labor Party, we're here. We're mostly virgins, and we're providing labor for the stage, bar, and zip line.
So, yay!
Okay, I'm in a hard-on pod, and we do stamps, airbrushing, welts of hearts on the people.
Get your heart on.
Hearts on, yeah. Everybody get your heart on here. You know. And we also have, I think that we're bringing the little photo studio this time.
Yeah, we're doing that. And are we having cutouts again?
Yeah, I'm bringing my faceless cutouts. I'm bringing 2 of them
And we're
maybe.
doing glow-ons this year. We're doing nighttime glow-on.
Okay, what about Buzzin'? Now, will you say something for Buzzin'?
Buzzin', we're a bunch of bees and we make lemonade with honey in it, and we also teach you how to make mead out of honey. And we do a bee dance at 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. It's a very easy dance which will be videotaped and sent to the president because we are in favor of preserving bees, even though...
Bee dance is awesome.
What about Happy Spot, Breaker?
Breaker Happy Spot?
I know Breaker's here from Happy Spot. Happy Spot has a happy spot where you can go stand in and they make you happy. Okay.
They have their ways.
It's magic.